Hi everyone, welcome to my podcast, Divinely Guided. My name is Nicola Green. I'm a spiritual advisor, mentor, author and healer. Today in this episode, we're going to be talking about how to connect with spirit. I did a poll online and this was the most requested. So I thought with my second one, this is what I'd go with because this is what I'm passionate about. There's always something that triggers the ability to connect with spirit, whether that's the death of a loved one, an illness or a trauma. But for some people, they are already born with the gift. My belief is that we all have the gift. And like a muscle, the more that we use it, the more prominent it becomes, the more better and easier it is to work with. Spirit come through in lots of different ways, through symbolism, dreams and visions, and lots more. But there are three main ones that I want to focus on today that are popular ways of connecting with spirit. Clairvoyant, which is seeing spirit, visualizing spirit. When I'm working, I can often see the energy of a spirit, lots of colour, and I also feel spirit, which is clairsentient. Clairsentient is being able to feel the energy of others and feel spirit around you. Sometimes it may come across as like a cobweb on the face or a coolness or even a heating up of the hands. It's about you finding your strength within that. We've also got clairaudient, which is being able to hear spirit effectively. Again, you may hear words or hear sounds like music or something like that. We all have a strength when reading. One is more prominent than the other, but it doesn't mean to say that we can't fine tune all of those. Again, with practice and patience, we can. But those are the three main ways that we're going to look at today with connecting with spirit. It's great to keep a journal and to acknowledge your strongest gift that comes through for you. And as time passes, other gifts will naturally open up with intention. Spirit are always wanting to work with us. They're always guiding us through feathers, through pennies, through songs on the radio. But when we consciously make a decision to connect with spirit, that's what brings the real magic through. When we are aligned and when we say, we open that door. Because, we can't, until somebody opens the door and consciously says, "This, I'm going to this person's house and I'm going to see them," and we consciously make that connection, that's when it becomes at its strongest, because we are ready and set. We're saying, "You're welcome. We're here for you. Now use us as that conduit to bring words of wisdom." Again, they're always guiding us. As a psychic or a medium, we are the medium between the two worlds, between the physical world and the non-physical world. Hence why the word medium is used, the middleman who enlightens the sitter or the client to become conscious of that, what they're not conscious of. We're just like, we're like that walking stick that gives them that support, that gives them a guidance that inspires them. But most of all, we are that light that shines hope for that person and allows them to come from a place of feeling lost and puts them back on the right path, hopefully. The first thing that I would say when we begin to work with spirit, what is very important is that we clear the clutter. When I talk about clearing the clutter, I'm on an environmental level. Where you're working from just collects energy, and things like objects collect energy. So we need a space that's decluttered so that the energy can flow easily around us and through us. So have a good clear out. The second thing when working with spirit, which I would give to you now, is clearing emotional clutter. When I talk about that, we can't work effectively if we are emotionally strong or we've just had an argument. We can't come from that energy because it will be in our immune system, it will be in our nervous system, and we'll be carrying that energy through with us. So sometimes that can influence the reading and the connection. It can cause stagnation and fragmentation of messages that are coming through because we have to be in a clear space. So when I talk about emotional dump, before you do a reading, what is a great idea, not always, but notice your energy first, where you're coming from, And if you're feeling a little bit icky or a little bit off, write down what it is that's blocking you. And now you can burn it, or you can just write it down and keep a journal. And it might be your journal for decluttering the emotional junk that's built up in you. The third thing when connecting with spirit is about grounding and opening. This is very important because, again, it's all about intention. And our intention is to connect with the non-physical world. So going online, YouTube, or there's lots of things, podcasts and things like that you can listen to. And I'll probably cover that in other series, grounding and opening. But basically it's about imagining roots going down, connecting with the earth, and then pulling up the energy and connecting with the divine light. Again, this makes a clear channel for the energy to work through you. The next step would be about protection. Now, this is just a precaution because we are what we think we are, right? So if we feel we need protecting, I guess we do. But I think it's always good to have a bit of a backup plan. So what I would say is always do a little bit of a prayer or call on an archangel just to bring you that protection. But also imagining yourself in a bubble of light that nothing can penetrate through. That is another top tip. Now, okay, so now we're ready to listen and to feel. So what you need to do is notice sensations, thoughts and feelings. When you've grounded and opened and when you've created that protection, you're now ready to listen and to feel. So slow your energy down, connect with your breath. And maybe one good way is to practice with a friend. Closing your eyes, sitting across from your friend and noticing how the energy feels, any words, any visions, clairvoyant, are you hearing anything? Clairsentient, are you feeling anything? Clairvoyant, are you seeing and feeling all of those things? Connect with it. And then just write down what you're picking up. Do you feel the energy's blocked? Do you feel sadness? Do you feel happiness? What is it you're feeling? Really connect with those feelings and just write them down. And what I would say is don't edit them. Don't try and analyze them. That's the worst thing you can do because usually the first thought that comes through is usually the correct one. Absolutely. So just go with it. And trust is a massive thing. Make sure that you trust what's coming and you don't edit it and question it. When I first started out, when I used to get a lot of no's, which sometimes comes up, it's usually because I haven't done the things before and I've just rushed from somewhere and maybe I've just connected and I've not been in the right space. So I have just kind of sometimes, that you're getting a lot of no's and it's usually because you haven't taken the steps that are needed in order to connect with spirit. You have to preparation and set the intention. That's very important to be able to serve somebody well. So I would say practice with others and then ask them to bring a picture of their loved ones, put it in an envelope, and again, put your hand on the top and your hand on the bottom and just sense what you're feeling around this energy. Is this person got a big personality? Is this person white or black or Caucasian, or are they tall or small? What is it you're feeling? And remember, it's practice, so don't beat yourself up if you get a no. And sometimes it's not a no because, like I say, if you go with the first feeling, most often than not, people can connect with what you're saying. So trust is the most important thing. The next thing to be able to connect with spirit effectively is dropping into your heart. Now, when giving a reading, we don't want the logical mind interfering because that will allow us to question, maybe this is wrong, maybe this is... So it's very important that we drop into the heart. And the main reason we drop into the heart is because it's a place of truth. It's a place of giving from unconditional space. And it's also giving authentically. And most importantly, it's a place of where we serve from. We're serving from that heart space. And again, it's that deep connection that will create rapport with your client and allow them to know that you're really feeling into their energy. So a great way is dropping into your heart and then imagining that you're connecting with their heart. So there's a link between your heart and their heart, and you're pulling this energy in and asking them to think about spirit, asking them to think about people that have passed and asking them to bring that energy through rather than it coming through your energy and you trying. Don't do that. Why do that? Why reinvent the wheel? Ask them to bring the energy in, because it'll be much stronger, because that spirit has a deep connection with that person. So that will really enhance the way that you read. So these are my top tips for connecting with spirit. And I hope that you found them useful. So, number 1, declutter your space. Number 2, emotional dump. Number 3, ground and open. Number 4, protection. Number 5, listen and feel. And number 6, last but not least, is drop into your heart. I hope this has been helpful for you, and with practice and patience, you can also become an awesome healer, reader, whatever it is. But remember, the most important thing is to trust. I'd like to say thank you for listening today, and I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any messages about this or anything else that I do, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening.